Christmas morning at the Roberts home looked like a postcard. Fresh snow on the lawn, warm lights glowing in the windows, soft Christmas music floating from the kitchen. It was the first Christmas since Claire had gone off to college, and she'd been excited to come home and pretend, just for a day, that nothing had changed. Her parents had moved to a smaller house after she left, a cozy single-story place in a quiet cul-de-sac. They'd barely lived there 6 months. It was still new, still unfamiliar, still filled with rooms Claire hadn't fully mapped in her mind the way she had with her childhood home. At 8:30 a.m., her dad went to grab the newspaper, a habit he should have broken years ago. Claire was curled up on the couch, scrolling through her phone, when she heard him call from the foyer. "Did one of you order a package?" Her mom looked up from pouring coffee. "A package? Today?" Everything felt normal until her dad walked in holding a cardboard box. Plain brown, no shipping label. Their last name, Roberts, written in marker. A cheap red bow slapped on top. "What is that?" her mom asked, frowning. "I don't know," he said. It was sitting right on the doormat. Her mom fetched scissors and sliced open the tape. And froze. Inside was a stack of photographs. The first few were of their house, taken from across the street, then from the yard, then right up against the windows, close enough to see inside. Her dad flipped one over. December 24th, 1:11 a.m. Claire's stomach tightened. Claire's mom whispered, "Someone was outside last night." Her dad kept flipping. Each picture moved closer to the house, as if whoever took them circled the property, then approached it, then inside it. A shot of the hallway, the bathroom door, the dim nightlight they always left on. Her dad's face went pale. Her mom whispered, "Tom, when were these taken?" "Last night," he said quietly, "while we were asleep." They went still. The final picture hit Claire like a punch to the stomach. It was her, asleep in the guest bed, taken from the doorway. Timestamp, December the 25th, 2:07 a.m. Her mom dropped the mug she was holding. Coffee splashed across the rug. "Oh my God," she whispered. "Oh my God, Claire, someone was in your room." Her dad rushed down the hall. Claire followed slowly, heart pounding against her ribs. The guest room looked normal until he opened the closet. It was cracked open slightly, which her mom never allowed. Inside, behind blankets, was a shallow cardboard tray, an empty fast food bag, a half-finished water bottle, a receipt from 2 nights ago. Someone had been living in that closet. And behind a storage bin was a cheap digital camera. Old, scratched, left behind on purpose or by accident. No one knew. Police arrived within minutes. They photographed everything. Bagged the box, the pictures, the camera, and the trash. They asked dozens of questions. Did you lock the doors? Did you lock the windows? They swept the house, checked the crawl space and attic. Nothing. No footprints in the fresh snow. No forced entry. No answers. One officer suggested someone may have hidden inside the house before they moved in. Another quietly admitted, whoever took these was comfortable being here. Too comfortable. It didn't make Claire feel better. It made her feel worse. Police left with promises to follow up. Her parents changed the locks, installed cameras. Claire went back to her apartment 2 days later, trying to forget the whole thing. But she couldn't. Because that night, while scrolling through her camera roll, she found a photo she didn't remember taking. Her family, opening the box. Her dad holding the photos, taken from directly behind her. Her phone had been charging across the room at the time. She zoomed in. In the reflection of the TV screen behind them, a tall figure stood in the hallway, head tilted, watching. Claire hasn't gone home for Christmas since. Her parents claim everything is fine, but every December they install new locks, new cameras, and sleep with the lights on. Not because they think the intruder will return, but because whoever stood over Claire's bed that night was never caught. Marcus Phelps had been driving tow trucks for almost 15 years. Christmas Day was usually slow. 1 or 2 stalled cars, maybe a flat tire from someone rushing to visit family. But that year, the storm was bad. Heavy wet snow, swirling wind, the kind of weather where even experienced drivers made mistakes. At 3:40 p.m., dispatch radioed him with what sounded routine: an SUV abandoned on a frontage road just outside town. Caller anonymous. No details. Marcus grumbled, zipped his jacket, and headed out. When he reached the stretch of road, the world felt unnaturally quiet. Snow piled high on the shoulders, trees bending under the weight, the sky already turning dark, even though it wasn't yet evening. Then he saw it, a dark red SUV, angled slightly into the ditch. Parking lights glowing faintly through the snow. Engine off. No hazard lights. Marcus parked behind it, flipped on his caution lights, and stepped out. Up close, the SUV looked recent. No dents, no scratches, nothing obviously wrong. Snow coated the windows, but not enough to suggest it had been there long. Maybe an hour, 2 at most. He knocked on the driver's window. No answer. He checked the back seat. 2 children's car seats, gift bags, a half-drunk coffee cup, a phone charger dangling from the console. But no people. Not a single footprint in the snow leading away from the car. Just a child's glove sat on the floor, wet like it had just been dropped. Marcus frowned and opened the driver's door. Unlocked. The inside was warm. Someone had been here very recently. He called out into the trees. "Hello, tow truck, anyone out here?" Nothing answered him but the wind. Unease crawled up his spine. People don't just walk away from a warm, running car in a snowstorm, especially not a mother with 2 small kids. He radioed dispatch for a state trooper and waited. Snow kept falling. The road was empty. Minutes felt like hours. When the trooper finally arrived, the 2 walked a slow circle around the vehicle. Still no tracks. The snow around the SUV looked untouched except for the tire marks. "Maybe someone picked them up," Marcus said, though he didn't believe it. "Maybe," the trooper replied quietly. His tone suggested otherwise. Inside the door pocket, Marcus noticed a folded paper map, unusual these days. A route was highlighted in yellow, a straight line from a city 2 hours away to their town. He also found a wallet tucked beneath the driver's seat. The ID showed a woman in her 30s, a family photo behind it. Her, a man, and 2 little kids sitting on Santa's lap. That image stuck with him. The trooper ordered the vehicle towed and impounded until the family could be contacted. Marcus hauled it away, unable to shake the cold knot settling in his stomach. 2 days later, the family appeared on the evening news. Missing. Last seen driving on Christmas Day. They never arrived at their destination. The SUV in the background of the broadcast was the same one Marcus had towed. The newscaster said there was no evidence of foul play. Marcus almost threw the remote at the screen. He tried asking the trooper again. The man looked exhausted, like he hadn't slept. "Officially," the trooper said, "it's an open missing person case." And unofficially. The trooper hesitated. "Don't drive that road at night." He wouldn't say anything else. Weeks passed. Snow melted, then froze again. Life returned to normal, at least on the surface. But something about that frontage road changed. The real chill hit when he saw construction trucks out by that same frontage road a week later. New fencing, floodlights, county workers digging deep into the snow and frozen dirt. He asked a deputy he knew what was going on. The man went pale. "You didn't hear this from me," he muttered, "but people report a red SUV out there almost every Christmas. Same description, same spot, always gone by the time we get there." Marcus felt ice crawl down his back. "Like, the same car?" The deputy didn't answer. He didn't have to. That January, Marcus drove past the frontage road again. Snow falling, wind howling, just like Christmas Day. And for a split second, in the exact same patch of trees, he saw red tail lights glowing faintly through the storm. When he blinked, they were gone. Now every Christmas, dispatch still gets calls. A red SUV, kids' seats in the back, parked in the snow. And every time, when help arrives, the road is empty, just tire tracks that lead nowhere, and silence. Security guard Ethan Morrow never minded working holidays. Empty buildings felt peaceful, almost comforting. Until Christmas night. At 10:15 p.m., a motion alert flickered on camera 12, the 23rd floor of the North Tower. The feed showed a tall figure in a long, dark coat, walking between cubicles. Too tall and too thin to be one of the cleaners. No badge access recorded. No elevators had moved. No cleaning crew scheduled. He rewound the footage. The figure didn't walk in. It simply appeared mid-frame. Dark coat, head tilted slightly, face blurred into a smooth, pale shape. Ethan felt his chest tighten. Protocol meant he had to check it out. When Ethan checked the floor, it was empty. But when he replayed the footage, the figure was clear. Tall, thin, face smooth like a porcelain mask, head tilted slightly. At 2:43 a.m., the figure appeared again, this time much closer, staring directly into the camera, unmoving. Ethan grabbed his flashlight and forced himself upstairs. The moment he opened the office door, every light inside flicked on at full brightness, and the figure stood waiting, tall, motionless, blank white face aimed at him. Ethan froze. The figure slowly raised one arm and pointed straight at him. That broke his composure. Ethan stumbled into the hallway, grabbing his radio, but before he could speak, the office lights snapped off. The entire floor went black. A sound rose from inside the darkness, high, thin, and warped, like a scream being dragged through a wall. Ethan ran. He refused to go back upstairs. He waited in the lobby until the police arrived. Police found nothing. Camera footage mysteriously showed an empty floor. No record of a figure. No movement at all. But when management reviewed the access logs, they found something worse. There had been a badge swipe at 2:43 a.m. The badge belonged to a former employee who had died in that same building exactly 7 days before Christmas, on that same floor. His badge had been permanently deactivated, but it opened the door one more time. On Christmas night,